sadly, but with confidence and humility, with allegiance to our founders and a heart full of love for America. Today, I am asking our chairman to proceed with articles of impeachment. I commend our committee chairs and our members for their somber approach to actions which I wish the president had not made necessary.
Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because the House Judiciary Committee will hold its next hearing on impeachment. That's happening on Monday. Lawyers for both Democrats and Republicans are expected to speak. This will happen just days after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, of course, announced that she was instructing Chairman Jerry Nadler to draft articles of impeachment.
White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham responded to the announcement in a tweet, saying that Speaker Pelosi and the Democrats should be ashamed, and Donald Trump has done nothing but lead our country. We look forward to a fair trial in the Senate. So joining us now from Capitol Hill to weigh in is Republican Congressman Ben Cline of Virginia. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Great to be with you both.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have a hearing despite the fact that the articles of impeachment are already being drafted by those in your committee, sir. So give us, I guess, an update about what's the point of this next hearing, how those articles will be drafted, when they might be voted on, and when we might expect a final vote in the House of Representatives.
Well, hopefully it'll be better and more fact-based than the first Judiciary Committee hearing, where we heard from 4 academics about the theories involving impeachment and their disagreement about whether it rises, the intelligence report rises to the level of an impeachable offense. Mm-hmm. But I hope that we get to hear from Adam Schiff, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, who wrote the intelligence report. You know, we heard from Bob Mueller, and back during the Clinton impeachment, we heard from Kenneth Starr. So it's only appropriate that we hear from Chairman Schiff, and the Judiciary Committee gets to ask him questions about his involvement, because quite frankly, he's a fact witness as well.
Yeah.
What are you hearing from your friends over in the Senate about how things may play out there? Do you have any sense of how long a trial might go?
No, I don't, and that's something that we have to be concerned about, because there are a lot of issues on the table: USMCA, border security, funding the government, and all of these things need to be passed by both the House and the Senate. And what Nancy Pelosi is doing, not only is she not waiting for the facts to be put forward in the Judiciary Committee, but now she's actually saying we need to go ahead and commit the Senate to taking at least the month of January, if not longer, to take time away from these other issues and focus on impeachment. It's their top priority, putting their disdain for the president and politics ahead of the Constitution, the rule of law, and the needs of this government and of the people of this country.
I want to focus a little bit on the USMCA, Congressman. Do you have any insight into the timeline there? I know that Nancy Pelosi has demanded some of the tech restrictions that are on USMCA be removed. Do we have any idea whenever this will be reaching the House for a vote? They keep saying they're close, but I've been hearing that now for 3 months, and this is something that is certain to play a pivotal role in the election if it doesn't get passed.
This is something that's not only important to my district, my constituents, the farmers, the manufacturers. It's important to Democrats in districts that are marginal, that could go either way. And so she's not listening to them. She's not listening to the American people. She's listening to left-wing environmental groups and labor unions who are demanding more and more rewrites of more and more parts of this deal. And if she doesn't put the bill forward to have it passed by the end of the year, it risks getting caught up in presidential politics and not getting done at all.
Yeah.
Congressman, I'm from rural Virginia as well. I've spent a lot of time down in your district, beautiful part of the state there, down by Roanoke. What are the issues that you're hearing from people there? How are they feeling about, about this administration? What are they talking to you about? What are their concerns?
Well, they're concerned, if you're from down that way, I-81 needs work, and so we need an infrastructure bill. We need funding for improvements to roads like I-81. Our farmers down there need certainty when it comes to trade agreements, need us to get a deal with China, need us to get this USMCA passed. And when it comes to health care, we need to provide more options for people, help make health care more competitive, more affordable for Americans, and get government out of the way so the markets can actually do their job.
Congressman, I'm curious about the impeachment. Have you heard about impeachment from your constituents in any way? This is something that Crystal and I spend a lot of time on, which is it just seems to kind of not be on the radar for most of Americans.
Yeah, we got about 150 phone calls in my office during the Judiciary Committee hearing on Wednesday. 4 of them were from my district. So I've had 19 town halls across the 19 counties and cities of my district, every single one of them during the last year. Impeachment rarely comes up. When it does, it's by the most, usually the largest opponents of the president, the biggest proponents of impeachment who just want to be heard. And so I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to hear the facts in the Judiciary Committee. We take our role very seriously. It's unfortunate the Speaker has decided to sideline the Judiciary Committee in this process because, quite frankly, when you sideline judiciary, you're sidelining justice as part of the process.
And Congressman, what do you make of the blue swing of the state? And for the first time in decades, you've got Democrats in control, or set to be in control, of both houses and also the governor's mansion. What do you attribute that to?
I think that it's been a sorting out over the past several decades of Democrats and Republicans to rural areas and suburban areas, Democrats to the cities and Northern Virginia. And the bureaucracy has spread so widely into Northern Virginia. So many up there depend on the federal government for their livelihoods that you have a blue trend in Northern Virginia, and that's kind of dictated the state. I don't want to say we're going to look on a map of party politics like Illinois with Chicago a blue up in the corner and then you've got a swath of red, but that's kind of the way it's trending. You see this in the movement to stand up for the Second Amendment across the state. Voters are piling into their county courthouses to talk to their boards of supervisors, worried about what this new legislature is going to do to the Second Amendment rights of its citizens. And all across the state, boards of supervisors are passing resolutions in support of the Second Amendment, and hopefully the legislature will get the message and not take action to pass restrictive gun control or gun confiscation measures when they come into session in January.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, John, Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Next on Rising, members of the Obama White House are starting to announce who they're going to endorse for president.
But could those endorsements actually help former VP Joe Biden? Friend of the show, David Pakman, is going to explain his theory on that when Rising continues.